Today we're going to talk about the percent proportion. And it is set up as this proportion that you see here, where the first fraction is a percent over 100 and the other fraction is part over whole. As we look at our questions, and I'm going to have 3 of them today, we look for some key symbols and some key words. For example, if you see a percent sign like this, that is the number that's going to go over 100. Now the 100 always stays. That never changes. On the other side, if you ever see the word is, that's an indicator that the number near it is going to go on the top. If you see the word of, that tells you that that number is going to go on the bottom. So here's example 1. 40% of 48 is what number? I'm going to start with the proportion skeleton. Line equals line with 100 there. And we'll read this and we'll start from the beginning. 40%. There's a percent sign. So that 40 is going to go in the percent spot right here. And the next thing we see is of 48. Well, the of tells us that that is the whole. And so the 48 is going to go on the bottom. Finally, we see is what number? Well, we don't know what number, so we're going to put an X right there in the is spot. Now, you should know how to solve a proportion by now. Usually we circle the diagonal that has the 2 numbers, and X equals 40 times 48, and then divided by the number that's not circled. In this case, it's 100. You throw that into a calculator, and you'll see that X equals 19.2. And if we were talking about money, then we would say that that is $19.20. Let's look at another example. This time it says 36 is what percent of 50? And again, we're going to do our percent proportion right here with 100. And I'm just going to start reading. 36 is. That means the 36 goes in the is spot. So we'll put it right here. What percent? Well, we don't know what. So we're going to put the X in the percent spot. And then finally, of 50. We'll put the 50 right here in the of spot. And again, we're going to circle the diagonal that has the 2 numbers. So X equals 36 times 100, and then divided by the guy that is not circled, 50. Throw that into a calculator, and X equals 72. But we have to go back to the question. The question says what percent? So we need to make sure that that 72 is in percent form. 72%. Well, I've showed you now where the X is in the percent spot and the X is in the part spot or the is spot. What happens when our of number is missing? Example 3. 30% of what number is 96? Here we go. Put 100 and start reading it from the beginning. 30%. Alrighty, the 30 goes in the percent spot. Of what number? Since we don't know what number, we're going to put the X in the of spot. And then finally, is 36. There's our is word. We'll put the 96 right there in the is spot. Finally, we're going to solve it. X equals 96 times 100 divided by the 30. Throw that into a calculator, and X equals 320.